Hey Jerry, how's it going?
I'm doing good.
I'm curious. Do you see either Rasul or Eric as guys that might be able to slide into the slot? And I'm asking obviously because Jaire might be coming back at some point, and if that happens, it seems like you might have three perimeter corners. But I'm curious your insight there.
Well, I mean, to me, I think with what those guys are doing right now, they're doing a great job outside. And when Jair does have the possibility to come back, then that's something that we got to look at. I know early on when before we had Rasul, Jair played a little bit inside. Early in the year before he actually got injured. So that may be a possibility there also. So again, to me, I look at it as a good problem to have when you have a lot of good corners and you could put those guys on the football field at the same time. They're just going to help us out.
Wes, go ahead.
Hey, Jerry, I got kind of a two-part question. My first part of this is with Jair. When he first went down, do you remember kind of what your message was to your room? And secondly, just how have you felt in terms of the way they've responded over the course of the season to still end up being a top 10 pass defense?
Well, I think one of the things that we know that you're one play away from playing in the NFL, and that was our message early on. I'm always about competition, and you hate to see a good football player go down, especially like Jair. I think he was having another good year. But our guys, I thought management did a great job of drafting Eric at the right time. All of a sudden, here's a young rookie that really don't know how to play. He's ready to be molded, and he's watching Jair every day in practice. So all of a sudden, his numbers call. He's been going against Tay and Aaron Rodgers every day in training camp. So now there's no fear in him. He just had to learn how to play. So one of the things that we talked about is, hey, it's your time now. It's your time to step up, and do what you're supposed to do. And to me, I think our group responded well. And, even when we didn't have Kevin for the San Fran game, hey, guys, it's the next guy up. That's the mentality we've had all year. We know that their injuries do take place in the NFL, but the other team is not going to wait on you to get well. They're not going to say, hey, well, we're going to take it easy on them because they don't have their best players. You got to go out there and play. And I think our guys have done a good job of that.
Jason Wilde.
Hey, Jerry, how's it going for you?
Oh, it's going good, Jason.
So speaking of Ja, I'm wondering, because of your playing experience, did you ever deal with a shoulder injury? And what are the challenges? He's a willing tackler, obviously. So how do you get him ready? Because he's going to want to be able to go after guys. How are you going about getting him ready for that part of returning?
Well, to me, I think, I never had a shoulder injury. I've had a couple of knees, and then, they're more mental than anything. I think once you clear the doctor, you clear everything that you're supposed to do, your rehab and all that, then I think it's up to you as a football player to go out there and trust that these guys are going to put you in a position for you to be successful. And I have to do the same thing. It's a lot of mental work that you have to overcome. And, the good thing is that when he falls one time and he puts his hand down and he's not going to protect himself and he's going to figure out like, oh, okay, well, that didn't hurt. So he get back up, and then you know what's going to happen? He's going to have to hit someone, and he's going to hit a guy, and he's going to say, okay, well, that didn't hurt either. So now it's going to be less and less. But until he gets past that, then, no one can say, hey, Jai, you're not going to feel this. I'll be lying to him if I did say that. The thing is, he's going to have to get past that mentally once he knows that I'm 100% clear, I'm 100% from the doctor, and you know what? Now the mental part is going to take over.
Ryan Wood.
As amazing as Rasul's season has been, it's easy to forget that it started with not very high expectation. I mean, he came off the sideline in Chicago. He wasn't active the week before in Cincinnati. At what point was it for you? Maybe before even Arizona. At what point was it for you that you realized that he was maybe going to exceed expectations the way that he has, and that was this type of player?
Well, I mean, to me, I've coached guys like Rasul. I've been fortunate enough to be around the league for a long time. So I've had guys like Andrew Sandejo. I've had guys like Anthony Harris, where there's the expectation, the bar is not high. So when you come in here, what are you doing? And you know what? When a guy has the ability to say, hey, coach, can you help me watch film? I'm a smart player. I know what I can do. I know these things. Just give me a chance. And I think that's what he really, really needed. So when you get a guy that your expectations meet his expectations, he goes out there and he plays, then everybody say, oh, man, this guy's a good player. Well, he's been a good player. Sometimes you don't get the chance you're supposed to get when you're out there or you're not in the right system. And, again, I think this is his time. He's in the right system. He's in a position to where he can help us win. And you know what? There's injuries had to take place, which is bad for us, but it's good for him that we got a good football player that's playing in 2021, 2022 that's going to help us win some football games.
Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Jerry. There was a time earlier, I'm sure you would think so as well, where teams were really willing to test Eric Stokes and really went after him that early part of the season. But, you know, just looking at how many times he gets thrown at now, it's considerably less. And do you think that's just a result of what he's done? Or you would think they would throw more with the way that Rasul is playing over on the other side?
Well, I mean, to me, I think when you look at Eric, every team look at it and say he's a rookie. You know, and rookie opposite of Jaire, he's going to get way more balls. So I talk to the guys when they come in, and I tell them, hey, look, it's not that you can't play. These guys want to see if you can hold up to being a number one pick, or can you play past being a rookie? Because if you lay your head down, you make missed tackles, you let them catch a lot of touchdowns on you, they're going to keep coming at you every week. But until you figure out that, you know what, I got to be able to step up and play on my own and then knock some balls down, hopefully get some interceptions, then they'll leave you alone. Because in this league, they pick on the weak guy. They don't pick on the strong guys up here. So in order to get them to stop throwing at you, you have to become one of the strong guys. And I think he's done a good job. And, again, a team's going to test him every week, trust me. But his biggest thing is, hey, you got to keep a level head. And I think, again, training camp really helped him a lot. You know, going against number 17 is not an easy task. You know, and I think those are things that helped him get a lot better as a football player.
Pete Doherty.
Hey, Jerry. Back to Alexander for a second. How much does the shoulder injury play into whether he would play the slot? Because he would be subject to, you know, a lot more hits and tackling in the run game. Is that not a factor at this point if he's cleared to play, or is that still something that you have to keep in mind on where you play him?
Well, I mean, really, like I said, I know that, you know, the shoulder injury is not in my department, but I know once he's cleared and Jaire said, hey, coach, I'm ready to roll, we're going to try to put Jaire in the best position for him to help us win football games, you know, this year. And I know that hopefully if he does get cleared to get a chance to come back, you know, we're going to do what's best for Jaire. And we know his willingness is going to be there. His athletic ability is going to be there. Like I said earlier, the first part is he has to get past that mental deal. Am I going to get hurt again? And that's natural, you know. But once he gets past that, then you're going to see Jaire playing at his best. And I think, you know, you can't go out on the football field trying not to get hurt because you will get hurt again. So that's the thing that I talk to him a lot about. You got to get past that in order for you to become the Jaire that we know that we had in 2020.
Wes, go ahead.
Jerry, I know Kevin played a little bit inside earlier this season. I think that was in week 3 or somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, what have you sort of thought of how he settled into that dime corner role here the past few weeks? And did it, you know, last week specifically, did you see him kind of get, you know, some more comfort in that spot?
Yeah, to me, I think, you know, what we're trying to do is we know that we have some guys on our football team that can play. You know, like we're fortunate enough to have Eric playing at a high level. We got Rasul playing at a high level. So we know that, okay, well, we got Kevin on the football field. He's been a starter in this league for 3 or 4 years. You know, he has some ability to go out there and play. Let's just not him sit on the sideline. You know what? Let's find a role for him. And then that's what we're always trying to do. We're trying to find how can we get our best 11 on the field at a given time to where we win football games. And I think Kevin's done a great job. He's accepted that role. You know, sometimes you get guys who haven't, that's been a starter, and then, hey, look, you may not play as much, and he's like, hey, coach, I want to help this team win. And I think that's the great attitude that our guys have had.
Ryan Wood.
Well as Eric has played on the perimeter, it is for a rookie at this stage in the season, would it be on the table to give him some slot opportunities, or is that just too much for a rookie? Would you want to keep him where he's comfortable and where he's playing well?
No, to me, I mean, I'm a little bit old school. I know a lot of times they throw guys in a lot of different positions, see, hey, what can they do? I'm more of, hey, let me see if you can play corner, and if you're really good there, then if you get a chance to move. But right now, knock on wood, and fortunate enough, we haven't had a chance to move him. You know, I think Chandler has played a great job inside. You know, we got Rasul playing outside. So we got a host of guys that can actually play inside right now, which we're not hurting. You know, the good thing is that being able to play outside is probably the best for Eric right now until we get a guy like Jaire back. And then now we got another decision to make. You know, do we move Eric inside? Do we move Jaire inside? You know, do we have those options? But those options are not there for us right now.
One more for you, Coach. Jason Wilde.
Hey, Jerry, I know you coached in this league a really long time. I'm wondering, how have you guys as a defensive staff gelled? I don't know how much you knew Joe other than crossing paths with him at the combine and stuff like that. But the fact that he came in and it was all you guys who'd already been here under Coach Pettine, it does seem like you guys have found a pretty good rhythm as a coaching staff on that side of the ball. How has that worked? How have you watched that kind of unfold? And is it different than what you've experienced in other places?
No, not really. You know, to me, you're exactly right. I didn't know Joe. I had never worked with him. You know, just about like the same thing. I'd never worked with Pettine. I'd never worked with Matt. So what I do is that as a coach is that, you know what, if you're the boss, what do you want to do? You know, I always ask, what do you want to do? What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do to help you be successful? That's my whole mindset. And then when you give me the direction, then you know what? You ain't got to micromanage me. Get out of the way, and I'll take it from there. I'll make you, to do my best to make you successful because you are the coordinator, you are the head coach. And I think as long as we have guys with that attitude and all of our assistant coaches have that attitude, then the guy, whoever comes in here, he's going to be successful. But I think what happens is that when you don't have that and you have a micromanager, but you got guys who want to help you, then you kind of have a rocky boat, and we haven't had that. You know, our guys respect whoever's in the chair, do your job the best of your ability, and if Joe gets the credit, he gets the credit. But you know what I noticed? If you win a lot of football games, the credit comes downhill. It always does.